The ZSX Pro has been always in my ears for 2 weeks now, with more than 72 hours of total listening time. My main sources are the Arturia Minifuse 1 single-ended and FIO K13 4.4mm balanced connection. I have paired the ZSX Pro with the Duno SNS ear tips and the CVJ VS400 cable. The ZSX Pro is a resin shell IEM with a metal faceplate housing one 10mm superlinear dynamic driver and 4 balanced armature per side. This IEM serves as an update to the very old ZSX from KZ or Terminator a few years back. It comes as a surprise to me when KZ decided to update and essentially resurrect the ZSX name. And carrying its namesake, Terminator plus Pro, will the ZSX Pro remain worthy of its Terminator name? This also serves as a good retrospect to how far KZ has come with its driver technology, if I had it. Unfortunately, I won't be able to provide insights at all between the old ZSX and the ZSX Pro simply because I was not in this hobby yet, and I refuse to buy ancient technology. 3 quarters of sarcasm with that one. The ZSX Pro, in my opinion, is KZ's most premium and sexiest looking IEM shell shape yet. It has contours that remind me of custom IEMs or mid-range hybrid IEMs. Indeed, it is decently comfortable, providing decent isolation, but surprisingly, from KZ, not uncomfortable isolation that causes ear fatigue due to its okay size and good shape. I wish more KZ IEMs were like this, as well like the KZ Saga, since those don't feel too invasive in the ear, while still retaining good passive noise isolation. Though, at my first week of usage, my right ear gets pierced by the ZSX faceplate at its south side, where a very aggressive tip obtrudes. Though, it's not because of a manufacturing defect or bad quality molding, it's just an unnatural, robotic looking, but cool design which would cause major problems if there was a defect. Mind you, it isn't sharp as a knife, but KZ should have softened, maybe thickened or curved the blade-like tip just a little bit more, just in case. Though, it is still an eye-catching design for me. At the north side of the faceplate, there's also this striking ripple-like vent holes that give me dark sci-fi vibes, Darth Vader. Moving to the resin shell at its north, an ear fin is located which is quite rare from KZ shells, at least from what I see. Though, despite the very curvy contours of the ZSX Pro, it sticks out of my ear, so I still haven't found my sleeper IEM just yet. And the nozzle size and length is just right, and for my ears, near perfect in fit. Though, I wish I had more isolation to block out more outside noise, but I understand the open back approach for this IEM. I could wear this all day and I haven't had any other complaints. I could go on to say that this is the most comfortable KZ IEM yet, superseding the Saga because of its superior fit. Finally, the sound! Time and time again, and it's getting old now, but KZ's latest dynamic driver is proven to be excellent, and it all depends on KZ's decision on the tuning. Unfortunately, I don't quite agree with their tuning of the bass in this one. It feels too meager, light, recessed from the stage. Though, it still gives an encompassing feeling. As a bass head, it is still lackluster. Oftentimes, when I know the bass is supposed to rumble, punch, and hit more, it just does not as much. It leaves me many times wanting. It's like, it's right there, but I can't reach it. Or so close, yet so far. But it's very far. Though, I can appreciate the cleanliness the tuning brings, paired with the driver's agility, assuming the dynamic driver is handling the bass. In bass-heavy tracks, I could feel the bass air being pushed out, and I wished more for it. Personally, I don't believe in a neutral-sounding IEM, but I've heard some that are considered to be neutral-sounding, and the ZSX Pro possesses such characteristics in its bass and the rest of the frequencies as well. Though I don't prefer this kind of tuning, I still appreciate the quality it brings. I'll be a talking parrot at this point, But the bass resolution, transients, punchiness, and extension this driver brings is excellent. This tuning only pulls back on the quantity significantly for those familiar with the same driver in other IEMs. So, you could expect the characteristics to be present here. If anything, this might be the most natural and the cleanest implementation of this driver yet. Well, of course, until I hear another KZ tomorrow. Before I proceed to the mid-range, if anyone decides to equalize this, the ZSX Pro takes it very well. What I usually do for fun is to boost the bass tone to the maximum to hear any distortion, and it took more than 70% bass boost until significant mid-range and treble recession. If KZ ever wanted to make this into a bass headset, it is very possible. So, maybe, KZ, please! The mid-range, to me, sounds uncolored. It doesn't sound thick, but many a times it sounds thin. It doesn't sound warm or cold to my ears. Keyboards, percussion instruments, vocals, stringed instruments just sound right. Though, I can't dare say correct, and I wish for more weight in them, I can pick and focus on any layer of instrument without fail. Detail retrieval is excellent, but keyboard sounds slightly recessed for my tastes. I think mid-range lovers would love this set, but that's coming from a bass head, so take that as you will. I wished I had more to say, but there wasn't anything that popped up to me as different, either very good or terribly bad. In my opinion, it simply sounds fine, and this might also be another sign of the mediocre standard in this price range. The upper mid-range and treble sounds level to each other. Nothing stands out and nothing sits down, at least at medium volumes. Again, there are not much quirks and features this set brings. Nothing that wows, nothing really exciting or new that it brings to the table. Vocals do sound engaging and well nuanced, but the upper treble does supersede it in complex tracks. It does have good technicalities. It definitely has good micro and macro detail all around, but it isn't the most detail-oriented or analytical set. But it is also not musical too. That is not to say that the ZSX Pro simply sucks, but it seems to have struck an excellent balance of both by doing none. I know it sounds weird, because there are definitely sets I've heard and even reviewed that strikes a good balance of both musicality and technicality, but by doing something, either by warming the mid-range or rolling off the treble. The ZSX Pro, however, does this so effortlessly. Like my voiceover, it's not effortless. It just has it. It just doesn't have the X factor I look for. Well, admittedly the bass. Though, the ZSX Pro definitely isn't perfect. The treble, particularly the presence region, probably should have been pulled back in favor for vocals. Snares and cymbals sound too forward, and vocals sound too heady, slightly shouty and sibilant at high to max volumes. Again, high to max volumes. It performs very well at medium volumes. This might be where the quality of the balanced armature drivers start to matter, as it seems to lose composure at 80% volume. Though, I think that KZ intended this to be a medium volume set, and not for a madman like me. In my experience, vocals start to liven up and be exciting at high volumes, and I enjoyed myself. But then I could not last more than an hour listening at that level due to the overtaking treble. Fortunately, the vocals did not sound shrieky, but female vocals, especially hitting their highest notes, I find myself squinting because of the overpresence. So, toning the volume down, sibilance is appropriate to the upper mid-range. Imaging is decently sharp, soundstage is wider than deeper, and is quite shallow, and seems to possess verticality as well. And layering is great. Though, at higher volumes, all but soundstage and imaging quality takes a hit. Soundstage becomes deeper at higher volumes, max volumes. Sibilance significantly increases at this level though, so I highly don't recommend this for high to max volume listening, and for people looking for such a set. Though, at low to medium volumes, I honestly started to doubt my bass leaning preferences since the ZSX Pro seems to cleanse my palate, but I digress. The ZSX Pro, I hate this name, is honestly a decent set at medium volumes, and it scales better, only limited by its own quality of drivers. If KZ could tune to compensate for it, or perhaps start using other better quality BA drivers, perhaps this configuration and tuning would be performing excellently. But as it stands, the ZSX Pro seems to fade into mediocrity, considering the pace, size, and variety in the Hi-Fi world, and especially in this price range. Competition is tough, and being different is now what truly sets apart. Well, duh. And you know what's even worse? It sounds similar, if not exactly the same, as the KZ Z10 Pro 2, which was released months earlier. But that I'm yet to fully confirm and verify with my own ears with more time. As a side note, I purchased this ZSX Pro, so there might be some frustrating biases here, but that might be a good thing. In my opinion, KZ is eating up itself with these two sets. And there is the KZ Z12 I have yet to hear and perhaps talk about in the far future. Though, I can always appreciate what every IEM brings from its sound, and I could see many people liking this. To me, it sounds natural, and I'm basically calling the ZSX Pro at this point boring. But natural does not sound boring to me. It's just that there are a few sets in the price range and above that do this already, and even better. I could recommend this to someone who is looking for a good performing KZ IEM, looking for this exact sound and can deal with its caveats, and for this shell. But for most people, they'd probably look around instead. Though, I must say, I'm still drawn by the looks and fit of the ZSX Pro, and I find myself grabbing it just to admire it. But at its asking price? Come on, KZ! Thank you very much for listening to my review, and I hope it was helpful. Please feel free to leave any comments, questions, and feedback for the video. It's time to get